Record here. All right. Welcome to the call. Before you go on and tell us all about your story, I want to give you a proper introduction. And Brittney Fowler, I actually met her. She reached out to me on Facebook a couple months ago because she was opening a clinic about an hour from me, a cryo clinic. You know, you've heard of where you immerse yourself or do this therapy where you're cooling the body down or parts of the body down. So it's essentially helping the body heal by putting it down to like sub-zero temperatures. And so she's opening up a clinic close by in Spirit Lake, and she invited me to like her clinic page on Facebook. And I was like, this is so interesting. And we have a lake lot over close by to Spirit Lake. So I was like, we have to meet this girl. I called her up, she called me back, and here she's on a team with under Carrie and Maria's team, just like us. And but she's on a different leg under Melody Rodarte, but she is a Pro 3. She lives in Minnesota, just over the border, right? Are you in which part of Minnesota?
We are just over the Minnesota-Iowa border. We actually live in Iowa. My husband is a police officer in Minnesota, and I am a trauma nurse in Minnesota.
Right. So she is
10 miles south.
Trauma nurse up in Hennepin County. So you drive all the way to Minneapolis. How many shifts a week or a month?
I work 60 hours a paid period, 12-hour night shifts right now. I'm trying to cut them back because of our clinic offices and nutrition club that we're opening. So yeah.
Wow, unbelievable. You're just so much, your energy is boundless. And, but she's also been a nurse for 11 years. She loves to exercise. She loves her family and God and business. She's a business owner now of 2 cryotherapy and IV drip locations. She opened a nutrition club last month, and Lifevantage has made such a powerful impact on her life, her husband's life, who's a police officer. They have a blended family. They have 7 children together. And then she also has some amazing story about her son and a friend, and her own story that I'm just really excited to hear about. So Brittany, I'm going to toss the call to you. I'm going to let you share, and thank you for joining us tonight.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Marilyn, for having me. Yeah, everything Marilyn said, that is me. This is, we're driving to pick up other siblings. So here is one of my joining us for the call tonight. And I feel very privileged to be able to speak on this call. Have a couple of things that are just amazing and mind-blowing outside of the science behind Nerve 2 and Nerve 1. Specifically, that is just amazing to me as a nurse. I didn't realize how nerdy and geeky I really was until I got into the science of Nerve 1 and Nerve 2. But it's profound and it's amazing. And so like Marilyn said, we have a few amazing testimonies between my husband and I and my bonus son and one of my best friends. For my husband and I, we are lifer night shifters. My husband has worked night shift as a police officer for 18 years, and I have worked as a trauma nurse for 11 years on the night shift. If you've ever worked an ounce of night shift, you know that no matter how much sleep you usually get during the day shift, it will never feel like the hours you sleep at night. However, I remember days when I used to work a night shift and have to, only sleep 4 or 5 hours. And I would just feel groggy and foggy and like a terrible mom because I couldn't hardly function. And my kids wanted me to play, and I was there, but I wasn't there. And ever since I've been on Nerve 2 and Nerve 1 and NAD, I am a completely different human being. I've noticed such an improvement in my mood, but the winner for me is my sleep. I am able to, there's not, magically more than 24 hours in the day. There will always be 24 hours in the day, but I'm one who averages 4 and 5 hours of sleep. That's just always how I've been, but I can sleep those 4 hours and I can wake up feeling like I rested soundly and so well that I'm not full of fog and I'm not, just kind of lost in translation and trying to figure out the rest of the day before the kids go to bed. And for my husband and I both, that is our huge win. We will forever be Nerf 2ers and Nerf 1ers because we are able to sleep soundly. We're not foggy. We got mental clarity. Axio saves our lives at 3 a.m. You know, we can drink Axio at 3 a.m. and be clear to save that trauma patient or to do whatever and still be able to go get off shift and go to bed. Now, that's life-changing to me. But the life-changing awesomeness for my bonus son, Colton, he is 12. He was 8 years old when I came into his life, 7 years old when I came into his life. Colton he has ADHD, and he is on the autism spectrum, high functioning, but is on the autism spectrum. And he was very, 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 very sensory sensitive when I first met him. So imagine this poor sweet boy who has already heightened senses of noise and touch and everything you could possibly think of. Emily with 7 children now. I mean, he's not quiet by any means ever.
I think we might be losing a signal on you, Brittany. Are you in a low area? Okay.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better. Okay, so you can start over with, Colton was, you said, very high sensitive.
Yes, he's very high sensory sensitive. So too much noise, too much touch, too much I love you, too much, I mean, anything was too much. And so I felt like we had to do something as a nurse and as a bonus mom to him. His biological mom just kept pushing prescription medications. And he would tell us, my tummy doesn't feel right. I don't feel right. He wasn't a young boy, and it was sad. And he would tell us, I have to just keep taking these medications because mom wants me to be quiet. Until Mama Britt stepped in and said, hey, this kid has so much potential. He's so smart. We got him on Nerf 2, Nerf 1, and an Axio a day, and he is a completely different child. He is the one who is constantly coming to us, wrapping his arms around, Brittany, I love you. Pretty Brittany, you're my pretty Brittany. I love you. And Dad, you're the best dad. I love you. Playing with his brothers and sisters, and he's bouncing up and down, and it can get loud, and he's, not running to his bedroom. His focus in school is good. He doesn't feel like he's always stupid and singled out like he would come home and say all the time. And he's just a completely different boy. And that in itself is life-changing and amazing. He feels good. He gets up and he asks. And the other thing too is with our fish oil. They had tried fish oil with him a while ago. And of course, every other fish oil is just miserable, right? To try to take for even an adult. And so we didn't tell him that that's what it was. He loves to take them and he bites into them. And that's the first ones that he asks for every morning. And that sensory overcoming in itself is astounding. It's just amazing how much he has improved and how good he feels and how more focused he is. He still has his ups and downs, like we talk about all the time. Nerf 2 and Nerf 1 isn't going to cure or treat any of those diseases, but to soften the side effects a little bit and the symptoms that come with things like that is huge and just so amazing. And then again, to kind of play off the, we can't treat, cure, mitigate any disease or illness, but this is amazing. And I am going to do my best to not get emotional, but I have a very good friend of mine. She's 35. She has 2 children, and she, in the middle of 2018, found out that she had stage 4 cervical cancer. The cervical cancer metastasized to all of her intestines, her stomach, her liver, and one of her kidneys. In January of 2019, she came to me one day and she says, Britt, I haven't been feeling right. So I went and got checked at the doctor again. And she tells me that my oncologist at Mayo in Rochester told me that I have 2 inoperable brain tumors and that there's pretty much nothing they can do. He's given me prescriptions for hefty pain medication, narcotics. He's given me muscle relaxers, and he even gave me medicinal marijuana prescriptions, she says. He says maybe 6 months. So if you do the math, January, 6 months is June. Couple like days after that, she saw my Nerf 2 tri-synergizer or dual synergizers laying on the table, and she comes to me and she's like, okay, I just have to ask, I see you talking about it, I see you taking it all the time, I mean, tell me about it. So I told her about it, and she's like, do you think it could help me? I said, yeah, I mean, really, do you have anything to lose at this point? Really? I mean, why not? Like, it's going to work on healing you literally from the inside out on that cellular level, the thing that, you know, causes all these chronic illnesses and cancers. I said, let's just give her hell, right? And she says, okay, I'm gonna run it by my oncologist, but I'm sure he won't care. And the next day she ordered it. Very long story short, because it could be a very long story. But from January to June, she comes to me 4 or 5 weeks later. 3 weeks later, I think was the first time. And she says, I just feel better. I'm not nauseous all the time. So I went to the doctor and had him draw labs, and my numbers are better. He's going to do a scan next week. And she comes to me after that scan next week, and she's like, I don't even know how to tell you this. And I thought it was going to be bad. Right. And she comes to me and she says, the doctor told me that the cancer in my stomach has gotten smaller. But he told me before that there's nothing that he could do for me, that we did everything we could. She comes to me a few weeks later. She tells me the cancer is gone from her kidney. She comes to me a few weeks later and she tells me she has no cancer in her liver. She comes to me a few weeks later and tells me that brain tumors are shrinking that they said would kill her. All in all, come June 1st, she calls me bawling hysterically. And I thought, oh no, like we were doing so good. What happened? And she says, Britt, you're never going to believe this. And I said, what, Amber? She says, I just left the doctor in Rochester. And I said, well, are you okay? Like I told you I would go with you. Are you all right? And she says, yeah. He told me all of my cancer is gone. And I was like, what?
Oh my gosh, I just have chills.
Like, so June 1st, when he says she should have been dead, she's cancer free. And to this day, she is living life, still on her pretandum, at all of her kids' events, doing all the stuff, feeling all the feels. And it's just mind blowing. Like, if you're not a person who believes in the science, or you don't care about the science, or maybe the science just seems to make no sense, which is fine. You know, I have a police husband who was like, what? I don't even know what any of that means. To hear some of these testimonies should just give you that to just give it a shot anyway, because it is amazing, and they're all over the place. And even that, you know, for me, the huge thing for me is the sleep and the less brain fog, and the fact that I can be a better mom with my kids, and I can function and not just like float through life. It's just amazing. So yeah, that's it.
Oh, that's amazing. Wow. Just gave me chills. But just so a little bit about your story, because you heard about this, what, 3 years ago or 4 years
Yep.
ago? And you were into holistic, but you know, you had zero time to do a business. I mean, what really was your driver as far as, you're a nurse, you have so much on your plate. Like, why did you decide to do a clinic and get involved with Lifevantage? And obviously the products were the huge.
Absolutely. So being a registered nurse, and especially in an ER trauma setting, I've seen and dealt with just about anything and everything and all the kinds of things. And it was amazing, because when we first did one of our first kind of webinar calls, it was our very first one. It was with me and my husband and my good friend Corey and her husband Dylan. They were the ones that brought us in because they were signed up under one of Melody's coaches, Dr. Christy. And it's funny because Tony and Melody were on the beach of Hawaii, and we were doing this webinar, and Melody's laying on the beach with her big floppy hat. And this is the first time I'm meeting them, and we're talking about this. And these people know nothing about me and nothing about my husband Craig and nothing about our children, right? And the one story that Dr. Christy talked about was this child who had ADHD and autism and how he was nonverbal, and like they knew nothing about us, right? So for her to open up with that, I instantly had tears when I'm like, this is the answer, Craig. Like, this is the answer we've been looking for, not only for Colton, but for us. I've done a bazillion network marketing companies. I did health and fitness coaching with Beachbody. I've done every type of retail, whatever. Not only is the foundation of this company amazing, but the drive behind what we have is above everything else. What we have to offer is, it's just stands alone, really. Between the science and the research and the third-party studies and everything that goes with it, it's just above and beyond. And like I tell Craig all the time, I said, we opened up these clinics. I found localized cryotherapy and dug into it because I was dealing with a lot of 20s and 30s and 40s and 50-year-olds in my emergency room who, had a back injury at work, or something happened where all the doctors would do would push narcotic pain medication on them, or gabapentin and like nerve stimulators and things like that. And I was watching these people come in and their lives are just spiraling out of control because they're hooked to narcotic pain medication, which leads to a lot of other bad things. And their lives are just falling apart because nobody would really help them, right? And so I dug into localized cryotherapy just 8 to 12 months ago. And I thought, you know what? Nerf 2 and Nerf 1 can go hand in hand. We can help with the inflammation from the outside with localized cryotherapy. Nerf 1 and Nerf 2, we can talk with our clients about to heal them from the inside and decrease that inflammation from the inside. It's a two-way kind of attack. And it's been an awesome adventure. So,
oh, wow, that's amazing. And then you also offer, what is the IV? Like if you're run down, or if you're, you said even for menopause, you do IV therapy?
Yeah, we have a wide list of IV vitamin hydration therapy for anything from you need an energy boost, busy week, you just need that boost, to immunity boost, to you're a triathlete, or you're working out heavy, you're a college football player, you're training for a half marathon. We have one that is specifically focused for like athletic performance recovery. We have PMS and a menopause, the side effects and symptoms that go with that. We have a libido boost one. We have we got the hangover cure, being in Spirit Lake.
Right? Oh man, I bet that's a busy day after.
Yeah, a variety of them. So it's just, we have 2 nurse practitioners who oversee the things that we do. We're a really close-knit team. Every client gets to have a brief evaluation with one of our nurse practitioners as well before we do your IV. We check your vital signs, all that good stuff. And it's just another way to help boost that immune system and to heal the body in such a positive way, rather than throwing things at it that may help ease or cover up or muffle the side effects, but isn't going to essentially help you in the long run.
Wow, I love it. Yeah. And so you're about the approach of healing the body holistically, getting at the root cause. And that's why you were attracted, I'm assuming, to our company, because we're about getting at the root cause.
Absolutely.
That's incredible. Any other product stories that you've heard that can boost our belief? I mean,
yeah,
so many.
There's so many all the time. I was trying to think of ones that I know. I mean, the lady at my aunt has MS, and I wish that she would, she wants to, she's just in Kansas right now, but the lady who has MS, I can't remember if I think she lives in Arizona, who was like wheelchair bound, and she does Nerf 2 and Nerf 1. And I couldn't believe it the day we were at an LVA, one of the very first ones, and I watched her carry a box, walked around up the steps and onto the stage. And I was like, I remember looking at and like, that's the lady they said that was what? It's just amazing. Like I try to tell people, regardless, at the end of the day, regardless of, what it's called or what it does, it's healing your body from the inside out. There's nothing greater that you can do for your body as a whole to help decrease that inflammation. It is like the root of all evil. And, even over exercising and undersleeping, I am some days a very terrible example, but that's why I bought my Nerf 2 and my Nerf 1, and I got extra Nerf 2s when I need them. And I just know it's amazing. Like I can function and feel good and bust out double workouts because my Nerf 2 is like rocking inside of me. It's in there probably going, please stop, please go to bed. But it's doing its job and I feel great. And at the end of the day, if you can take a couple pills or capsules that is going to help do such amazing things. I mean, the amount of antioxidants that it helps your body produce. If I wish I could scream from the rooftops, I tell my husband this all the time, like how amazing it is and the amazing things that antioxidants can do for your body. And no matter how many you try to eat in oranges and blueberries and red wine, you're never going to get what you can out of that one, those couple simple capsules and tablets. And it's just, if you can pop it in the day, set it by your toothbrush and go. The amazing things that you feel, the energy that you find, that natural energy, even just through that. If I could get everyone to just understand how great it is, heck, I don't know. I'll buy it for you. I'm not sure.
Right. I've done that before. Hey, can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
Brittany, awesome. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for joining our team call. Just really awesome meeting you. I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina. So anyway, we're all over the place here, which is really fun. But I have a question. I saw Ruth Harris joined. Ruth Harris is my next door neighbor and she is a nurse and she has worked night shift. She's, she's on our team and shares this, is just incredible. Totally understands the science, is just so smart about the science. One thing we talk about though is sometimes how it's hard to get through to nurses. It's hard to get through to nurses sometimes. Now we got a lot of health people on this call and on our team and everything, but have you found anything that could work or that's working for you?
Yeah, they're definitely skeptical and doctors are even more skeptical. Of course, if it's not something that they have found or they were told, in school or in something that they were doing, especially your focus not on any holistic, they just want medications that can only be done this way and all of that. It's usually those people who are against oils and everything else. But honestly, the things that I do is I just keep sharing like what it's doing for me. And I've had a handful of nurses be like, okay, wait a second. Even today, I think probably 5 people have asked me. And I remember that I am a trauma nurse. Please take this with a grain of salt. I am a trauma nurse married to a cleaner, okay? I would never do this, but it made me laugh so hard. And this guy laughed so hard. He came into the nutrition club and somebody's like, I don't know how you do it. Like I said, I was talking to him like, it's the Nerf 2 and Nerf 1. Like I take it religiously. Like it just helps my body function when my body doesn't even want to function. And they're like, somebody else came in, they're like, okay, seriously, how are you running the nutrition club? Like you haven't slept since yesterday. And this guy had his head down and I was like, it's cocaine. He whips his head up and he starts laughing. I'm like, I'm kidding. It's Nerf 2 and Nerf 1. You hear me talk about it all the time. And I just keep sharing about the things that the simple things that it does for my sleep and my focus, and people see that in me. Be that shining like replica of what Nerf 2 does, and be that shiny replica of what Axio does for you at 3 a.m. And don't be afraid to ever be like, yeah, this is Axio and I feel amazing, because what is the least they're going to say to you? That's dumb. No, you're crazy. Okay, that's cool. Fine. That's great. I feel fantastic though. And eventually you're going to understand and you're going to feel fantastic too. And you just got to keep being that person that just replicates and shows exactly what it's doing for you and how it's affecting your life and the positive things that you're getting out of it. Because eventually they're going to be like, okay, she's bubbly all the time. It's 3 a.m. and whatever, but she's rocking it. And so I want to not, I don't want to drag anymore. So they're going to eventually be like, okay, tell me, Ruth, tell me what it can't be drugs. So what are you doing? I heard you say, I saw you take that pills. So just keep being that like replica and that drive of the love that you have for this. And don't let anyone ever make you feel like, oh, I shouldn't talk about it because they don't believe in it. Eventually they will believe in it. It's going to take time, and some of them take even longer than you ever want, but they're going to come around. And so just keep believing in what you believe in and the science that you know behind it and the feel goods you get from it. And eventually they're going to be like, okay, tell me all about it.
That's what I'm going to do that. Thank you for that. Cause, I do try to say that a lot at work. I'm like, like I could not do this job anymore without this. I mean, I'm a night shift nurse, like everybody's like got migraines and diabetes and stuff like that. Anyways, so I keep saying that, but hopefully, yeah.
They'll come. We are the most stubborn, like individuals in the world. So, and you know that,
right.
But keep replica, keep being that, proud and like just amazed at what it's doing for you and the feel goods that you have working through the night shift, and they'll come around.
Yep. It's their timing, right? It's all about timing and everything, right? Well, we don't want to keep you much longer, Brittany. It's a 30-minute call that we offer. So thank you for jumping on such short notice. I'm so glad it worked out. And I am going to come to visit your clinic. All right.
Yeah.
I think
that sounds good.
Yeah. And we could, maybe do some things together and partner up and help each other out. So thanks for being a guest. I really appreciate it. Take care.
Absolutely. I feel so privileged. Thank you.
Thank you, Brittany.
Yeah,
Good to
it
meet
was
you.
awesome.
Thank you so much.
And then
Thank
nice
you.
meeting you all.
Gina wanted to share a little bit. She got the brand new skincare set, and she wanted to share how awesome the CBD skincare is, the Nerf 2 CBD line that we just launched. Go ahead and share.
All right. Well, I got it when I got home from work today. So I honestly just been experimenting a little bit. It really has like, I don't know, a citrus type scent to it, I would say. And the nice thing is I gotta say that I feel like Kelly won't be feeling, oh, it's like it's not feminine, but it's not masculine either. It's very neutral, general.
Good.
And can't wait to like try, the deodorant. Yes, I put it on, but that was like, say 10 minutes ago. So
Yeah.
So I can't wait to see how I feel after I've been wearing it. But,
okay.
It's just really fun, getting all these little products and how
what's the serum like?
So the serum it feels a lot almost like the body rub, but it's a, kind of a darker, cloudier looking bottle. So, and it's a dropper bottle. So,
is it basically,
and then
is it sticky feeling? I mean,
it's not real sticky, I'd say. Well, I don't know. It reminds me a lot of the body wash.
Okay.
It actually it's smoother maybe than the body wash. The body butter is lighter color than I thought. See, it's more, usually a lot of times they're yellower, and this is whiter, and it's really light, and it goes on pretty smooth. I think this is going to be really a nice product. I did not open yet the little soothing balm that's supposed to help those chronic little sore spots. But here's the body wash.
Wow.
So I'll use it for real in the morning instead of just a little bit of trying it on like I'm washing my hands.
Yeah.
But the lotion smells really good too. So
Good.
yeah, and it's
a different
the
smell.
lotion's pretty thick.
Okay.
So which is good because I use right now daily CeraVive, which is a cream that I use, the CeraVive cream, and I use it twice a day. So because I have eczema, and so I have to be very careful with my skin, and so I'm really excited to try this stuff and see how it makes my body feel, but I think it's going to be wonderful. And so I can't wait to have it all over and sleep in it, wake up and put it on again in the morning. So it'll be like a twice a day thing I'm getting into. So yeah, so it was so fun to get my box and
Thank
I
you.
got my brushes. So yeah, it's really nice big box. It was very exciting. So you guys will be getting yours soon, I'm sure. So
Yes.
thanks for letting me share.
You bet. Thanks for joining. Yeah, it's being able to give us the kind of a inside look at what it smells
Yeah.
like, feels like. I appreciate that. Yes, I can't wait to get that. And you guys go to the Facebook page, the Lifevantage Facebook page, and they're having the trainings there 3 times a week. So those are live, and jump on and get the training because not all of the products have CBD, just a few of them. So, but they'll explain that, all the ingredients, why they chose those ingredients. And then tomorrow night, make sure you jump on Facebook Live. They're doing Win Back Wednesdays. So the Wednesday calls, old customers, we're inviting them back to get a $10 off credit to $10 off a product. So that is going to be exciting. That new program starting tomorrow. Also, we're having our Eric Worre training. Make sure you get on that tomorrow afternoon at 4 Central. It's Cinco de Mayo, so bring your Spanish hats and your Mexican stuff. We're gonna have fun tomorrow on the call. So thanks guys for joining us. Well, I'll jump off and get on the Flip the Switch. That's gonna be with Don D. Nettles and Marcy Nettles tonight. And then right after that, is the Level Up Your Life. So make sure you're adding people to that Level Up Your Life Facebook page, and those 30 and 30 calls that are going on, utilize that. So thanks guys for joining. Love you guys. Have a great week. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.